Here's Coach Mill. Good performance today overall. What are your thoughts on today, both the men's and women's teams?
Good. Certainly a good step forward for us. I mean, this is kind of probably our first real meet. I mean, Stanford anybody is good, but not super competitive, especially on the men's side. It wasn't on the teams that came. So for our guys, I thought it was a really good point to be at right now. I think we're a man away from being actually pretty good. And we've got some pieces that'll still come together, but for to be here right now, those first 3 guys are really good. Our fourth guy was good. So I'm excited to see what we can do in another 5 weeks. But it's tough to know what to make of these races. I think they were fairly watered down too. And some teams, some really good teams ran B teams, which we didn't anticipate. So I have to look at it a little closer to see how good it really was.
I mean, you know what it takes to make the podium done in the past 3 or 4 years. What are your thoughts though of what NAU did? Obviously, seeing what do you think it will take for a team like your team or any other team to challenge NAU to stop that three-peat?
I mean, to be completely honest, I think NAU is operating at an entirely different level than the rest of us right now. And I'm not going to say I don't think anybody can beat them, but I do think they're operating at a whole different level than the rest of us. 5 weeks is a really long time still, but I mean, that might be one of the best teams we've ever seen assembled in the NCAA right now. It's pretty impressive to watch. So to get on the podium, I think, you got to have 5 guys run a great team race that day, and like we talked about over the last several years, you're seeing more and more like those low sticks too. But I mean, to be able to mix up with them, obviously BYU probably can come pretty close. I think to get on the podium after those 2 teams might be pretty open after that.
One of the guys that didn't run, Stephen Fahey, is he still planning on?
Yeah. I mean, we're hopeful. He missed a little bit of time right when we came back from training camp. He's starting to train pretty well right now. Certainly on the uptick each day. He'd be a big game changer for us in the end. He would certainly hopefully plug in right with our top 3 or 4 guys there too.
Talk a little bit about Fischer. Came close there. He said in his interview he kind of felt like he went a little too early.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on Fischer's first race of the season?
I thought it was a great start. He said he felt when he made a move, he said he felt great for about 10 steps and then realized they didn't give up yet, or they didn't get away from him yet. And he said the next 30 steps he had to keep grinding all the way through, which I mean, I think that says a lot. He didn't tense up, he didn't panic, he just kept working through his gears. And again, like you said, his first race, so a good sign of where he's at to continue to get better in the next month too.
We know, after race, Fischer said how after NCAAs, he said he was running conservative. Do you think it'll be different this time around now that it's his senior year?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing he won't go with, at this point in time. He's a completely different person than a year ago. He's a lot physically stronger, but I think he's also very, very clear on what he wants to do and the level he wants to run at. And, I don't think there's anything he won't go with at this point in time, and I don't think there's anything he can't go with at this point in time, too.
Is there like a strategy for this final straightaway? I mean, Fischer's run on this race now, this course, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And, what's like the strategy to make sure you're in good position for that? Because, when you throw in McDonald in that race, some of the Alabama guys, it's going to be different type of landscape.
Yeah, I mean, I think Grant is really, really good at just having composure even over the last 400 and not getting tense or anxious or thinking I've got to try to run away from guys, but waiting and making one decisive move at the end. I think, you're going to have like today, you had Morgan McDonald, you got 5 guys probably all together, 300 to go. I think a lot of it's going to be as much playing poker as it is actual ability to sprint at the end there too.
Do you think there's a chance that the finish of a cross-country race will feel like the finish of like a tactical 5K?
It seems like it this year, certainly with the parity we have up there, and so that's exciting to think about all these good guys, what they'll be like coming off the turn.
Cool. And overall, how do you feel about today?
I think good. But again, I want to digest it a little bit more. These races, it's just so different than years past with the split race format, and then some teams obviously not running anywhere near 8 teams today at all. So kind of feel like I want to look at it a little bit better. But for where we're at right now, and especially our first 4 guys today, I'm really excited with, especially Alex Osberg, Alec Parsons. That's a big step forward. We add in Stephen Fahey, Callum Bolger. I think over the next month, I think DJ Principe and Michael Verdeaux taking another step forward. We're good and we're young, so I'm excited. I want to look at it a little bit more closely, but I feel good about it. And the same on our women. I think that was a huge starting point today. We'll get a lot better in the next few weeks, and we're really young, so it's exciting to see them build that confidence and have it keep coming each week.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Awesome. Thanks, man.